up until now, I guess. But I was performing every Sunday in a church, but everybody would just kind of look at me as the music guy, because I ended up being like musical director of the church and like moving up and whatnot, and that's great. I loved it, but I had a real big problem when people called me the music guy, because yes, I am a guy and I like music, but there's also, I also like, walking. I like camping is like a big hobby of mine. I work in a school and in a college now in the day, supporting support work. I love that, helping other people, and like we all have our little passions, don't we, and whatnot. Oh, and all of those little things, they make us who we are, which brings me back to my other point, that it's not always the be all and end all. If you want to do music as a a lifelong thing and turn it into a job, then at least what I've found is that it's not all roses. It's like there's some days when you just don't want to compose. You don't want to look at the computer again. You don't want to have to look at your emails, and you don't want to have to find your next job. As like working for yourself.
There can definitely be that.
Yeah.
You can burn out as well. Like if you spend all day every day like sat at the computer either composing or mixing or doing everyone likes music, but like obviously you're gonna have times where inspiration's just not coming. It's and I tend to find then actually just taking either a day off completely off music, or going for a walk or something that can help. I come back and I'm like, okay, I'm ready to get back into it. But without that, it would be like quite tiring. It's like any job really. You can't just do it constantly.
Yeah, it's quite interesting that you say like you use the word inspiration as well, because a lot of people say, "Oh, I'm not feeling inspired," but actually, inspiration is just the willingness to do something. That's all. That's all. Yeah, it's not like like people say they run out of ideas and that's them losing inspiration, but that's not the case at all. It's the willingness to sit down and to put the work in and whatnot.
I would also say it's easier to be an editor than it is to be the person writing the thing. So if you're having that kind of writer's block thing, what I would say is write an idea, don't judge it. It's going to be, even if it's terrible, like it's much easier to then go, I've got an idea, let's do something to it to make it good, whether that's change the instruments around or maybe move some pitches around until it sounds good. But like it's much easier to do that than have complete blank canvas and just stare at it for hours, like going through all your samples and going through all that and go like, well, none of it's inspiring me. If you just write something and go, well, I don't care if it's going to be bad, it's something as it's jumping off point then.
Yeah, definitely. And I do exactly the same thing. Whereas, if like I've got all of these, like we were talking about this last night, weren't we? But I've got like all of these kind of ideas that I know work, and then sometimes I'll have an idea of what I want to actually play, but then I'll also supplement that with like things that I know work. And I think that's something, like I've got a piano in front of me. Yeah. So, like if I had an idea for, I don't know. So that's my idea, nice and simple. But then, what I could be doing is, I could go to go to D minor, and I'm in C minor. But then I could go to D major. So and do a key change. Yeah. So like just swapping out like from major to minor, that can just switch up your entire thing, can't it? Right, let's see what people are saying. What type?